President Benigno Aquino III was expected to respect, promote, and protect human rights. After all, he won the elections on the platform that he will resolve the cases of human rights violations and put an end to corruption. Victims and their families held on to his pronouncements and hoped to have their share of justice finally realized. However, after his presidential inauguration, extrajudicial killings continue on the pretext that those killed are supporters of the rebel armed group, the New People's Army, or even members of the Communist Party of the Philippines.
Niabot ang mga sundalo nga nagsiupiti sa among barangay o tribo. Ilang gipasabot nga kung maambusan sila, dili na nila mo'y pangitaon ang hindi kaya ang mga dato na mo'y ilang pangitaon, labi na ang mga sibilyan.
The President himself announced in the evening, several hours before the landfall of Yolanda, that we are ready for rescue and all the relief are prepositioned. But where was the President? He came later with all the cameras around him and said, "Buti nga, buhay pa kayo eh. I should be happy you're still alive."
When you go and ask for genuine agrarian reform, government says we have no funds. When you go and ask for education, health, budget, no, government says we privatize the hospital because we have no funds. But in the end, when the pork barrel issue came to the fore, people realized billions of pesos are there, but government would not spend them on health, would not spend them on education. They would rather spend them on highways that lead to nowhere.
Then Congressman Benigno Aquino III delivered also his privilege speech, but virtually justifying the massacre, and no single word of condemnation come from President Aquino III.
He was one of the 9 people who was killed during a massive military operation by forces belonging to the armed forces of the Philippines. They were not killed during a legitimate running gun battle with the AFP. That they were unarmed, they were captured, they were willfully killed, and their bodies were desecrated thereafter.
He was brutally shot in front of my mother. It's emotionally draining. Most especially to the kids. The youngest, Katrina, has still nightmares at this time. And my mom, every time she hears any fireworks or a bang, would tremble.
The pivot to Asia entails 60% of naval warships of the United States will be deployed in Asia. Because it is now in crisis, the vast market in Asia as well as the cheap resources in Asia can be exploited so the United States will be able to gain and profit. And in order to do that, they have to, of course, strengthen their military positioning in the region.
The Philippine government used the war on terror as an opportunity to escalate its generations-long war against Muslim separatists in the southern Philippines and other individuals and organizations who oppose the policies of the Philippine government. The United States has given more than $507 million in military aid to the Philippine government, which has enabled it to commit war crimes.
Human rights violators are unpunished. In fact, they are promoted to higher positions.
When EDCA, or the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, was added to the Visiting Forces Agreement, the U.S. was allowed troops, warships, and warplanes to be stationed in armed forces of the Philippines bases anywhere in the Philippines.
And inside these military camps, there's an American area where no one can enter. The media, the senators, and even Filipino soldiers themselves.
EDCA violates the explicit provision of the Constitution that says that the Philippines do not allow the presence of foreign bases, troops, and facilities in the country without a treaty conferred in by the Senate.
There was never any referendum asking the people if they approve DFA or EDCA or the other agreements.
In view of all of the foregoing, we, the jury, hereby renders judgment finding defendant Benigno Simeon C. Aquino III and defendant Government of the United States of America, represented by President Barack Hussein Obama II, guilty. We enjoin the defendants to undertake and the people to pursue proper remedial measures to prevent the commission or continuance of such illegal and criminal acts, to repair the damages done to the Filipino people and their environment, to compensate the victims and their families for their atrocities, and to rehabilitate the communities, especially indigenous communities that have been destroyed by the criminal acts of the defendants. We also encourage the peoples of the world to seek redress, to pursue justice, and to transform this oppressive, exploitative, and repressive global state of affairs exemplified by the experience and plight of the Filipino people. To challenge the international, quote, rule of law, and to construct a global order founded on full respect for the full rights of all peoples everywhere.